Have you ever watched a tiny puppy and just wondered, what is going on in that little head? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain on their secret life. It's this incredibly rapid, fascinating journey from a completely helpless creature to the companion we know and love. And the key to understanding all of it, it goes way back to its ancient connection to the wolf.
And just to show you how different that journey is, look at this. A wild wolf needs 2, maybe even 3 years before it's mature enough to have its own pups. A domestic dog, it can get there in as little as 7 months. This is a massive biological shortcut, a huge acceleration that's a direct result of living with humans. And this one change, it sets the stage for everything else.
So yeah, to really understand that puppy tumbling around on your carpet, we have to start with its ancestor, the wolf. Because the process that split them apart is what completely rewrote the rulebook for how a puppy grows up, changing both its body and its mind.
And that process has a name, of course, domestication. But don't think of it as just taming. It's more like a profound evolutionary remix. It took all the raw, hardwired instincts of a wild animal and blended them with this brand new ability to learn from and cooperate with a totally different species, us. This is the foundation for the modern dog.
Okay, so let's jump right to the very beginning of a puppy's life. We're going to start in the first month. And this period is just an unbelievable transformation. We're talking about a creature that starts out blind, deaf, and totally helpless, and then, in just a few weeks, awakens to the entire world. Here's a quick roadmap of what are, without a doubt, the most important 12 weeks in any dog's life. You can see it all laid out, from the vegetative phase, where it's all just pure instinct, to the socialization phase, where its actual personality starts to take shape. These first 3 months are where the dog we'll know for years is truly built.
You know, for those first 2 weeks, a puppy's universe is incredibly small. It's just a world of warmth and touch. It literally can't see or hear anything. Its entire existence is just a cycle of sleeping and nursing. It only has one real instinct, this slow, circular crawl, which is this brilliant little survival mechanism to make sure it never wanders too far from its mother's warmth.
And then, right around day 14, boom, the entire world just switches on. In this super short transitional phase, the eyes pop open, the ear canals clear, and for the very first time, the puppy doesn't just feel its brothers and sisters, it can see them, it can hear them. The lights are on, and you start to see those first real glimmers of curiosity. We're now entering what is arguably the most critical, most time-sensitive period in a dog's entire life. Seriously, what happens in these next few weeks will literally shape its personality, its confidence, and its relationship with the world. Forever.
This is known as the critical period. And the best way to think about it is that the puppy's brain is like wet cement. Between the 3rd and 7th week, every single experience, every interaction leaves a permanent impression. This is when it learns on a deep, fundamental level who its family is.
And here is the absolute magic trick of domestication. A wolf cub going through this phase, it would only recognize other wolves as family. But our puppies, because of those thousands of years of evolution alongside us, they imprint on both dogs and humans. This is the biological switch that flips, that allows a dog to see us not as strangers, but as a core part of its pack.
And this is why that window is so unbelievably important. You get a puppy that has gentle, positive human contact during this time, and it grows up curious, it forms stable bonds, it's eager to learn. But you take a puppy and raise it in isolation, the source calls it a kennel dog, and the psychological damage is irreversible. It becomes fearful, anxious, and its ability to learn is just crushed. The stakes couldn't be higher. So as the puppy gets a little older, its education enters a new phase. Now the lessons aren't just coming from mom. They're coming from its siblings. And the classroom? Well, it's basically a wrestling mat. Playtime isn't just for fun. It's serious, serious work.
And this learning keeps happening in stages. First, you have this ranking phase, where they're basically figuring out the social ladder through play. That's followed by this amazing golden window where they're super trainable. And then puberty hits. Just like with a human teenager, the hormones kick in and you might get some moodiness and maybe a little temporary deafness when you call their name.
So when you see a pile of puppies tumbling all over each other, they're actually doing 2 really important things at once. On one level, they're practicing ancient hunting skills that are baked right into their DNA. But even more importantly, they are learning how to be a social animal. They're figuring out their place in the pack, learning how to communicate, and building their very first social structure.
So we've seen this incredible sprint from birth through adolescence. But what's the secret that keeps our adult dogs so connected to us, so trainable, long after they're grown up? Well, the answer brings us full circle, right back to where we started: domestication. The scientific concept here is called neoteny, and all that really means is holding on to youthful traits, even in adulthood. I mean, think about it. So many adult dogs keep the floppy ears, the big eyes, the shorter snouts of a puppy. But the most important thing they keep is psychological, that lifelong playfulness and willingness to follow a leader, something a wild wolf grows out of.
And this process had some really dramatic physical consequences. One of the most shocking is that domestication led to a nearly 35% reduction in the dog's brain mass compared to a wolf's. That is the single biggest decrease found in any domesticated animal. It's a powerful sign of just how profoundly we reshaped their very being.
And this brings us to a quote from the source material that just sums it all up perfectly. It says that the domestic dog mentally never fully matures. And look, that's not a knock on their intelligence. It's the whole point. It's their superpower.
Because that's the ultimate secret, isn't it? That playful, curious, eager-to-please spirit isn't something our dogs are meant to grow out of. It's a permanent feature we helped engineer. The key to that incredible bond we share with them isn't about training the puppy out of the dog. It's that domestication made sure the puppy stays with them, and with us, forever.